Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Ship and Reach. I'll be doing my August TBR. Before I get started, if you're new to this channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as the notification bell. And if you're new, hi, hello, I'm Stephanie. I do a lot of bookish content, and let's just get right into all the books I want to read in the month of August. Not only do I want to talk about the books I want to read for August for my regular prompts, but also I will be including my magical readathon TBR in this video as well, because it's going to be all the books I'm going to be reading for this month. So as always, I have my book club picks, and this time we're actually going to be reading two books because one of the books was extended, or not extended, but delayed from a couple months ago. And I was just like, let's just get through it, both of them, and call it a day. So the first book we're reading is The Garnet Girls by Georgina Moore. This is a book that I picked out, and it follows the lives of three different sisters and their free-spirited mother who must grapple with life responsibilities and family secret. It definitely seems like a summer read, and I see this a lot right now on Goodreads. Then the next book club read I'll be reading is Now You See Us by Bali Kar Jaswal. This is the one that was supposed to read a couple months ago. I don't remember if I mentioned it for like March or April, but it's been a while, and we finally got copies a couple weeks ago, so we're going to be tackling this month. All I know is that this is supposed to be Crazy Rich Asians meets The Help, and it's supposed to be like a murder mystery as well. It says it is a story of three women who work in the homes of Singapore's elite and band together to solve a murder mystery involving one of their own. I'm super intrigued by this book. It sounds really fascinating, and definitely can't wait to read this soon. Now moving on to my laptop over here with my beautiful prompts. I'll be picking 5 of them and then letting you guys know which book I'll be reading for each prompt. So prompt number 1. Okay, I didn't really want to read this for August, but it is a spooky read. So let me find a book that is spooky. I guess I'm going to be reading some spooky books in the month of August, which is fine. But yeah, let me find something and I'll be right back. So for my spooky read, I'm going to be picking up Every Vow You Break by Peter Swanson. This is an audiobook that I have, and I wanted to pick up some other books, but I don't know on my shelves anymore what I have as horror. I feel like I just don't really read horror generally speaking, and I thought about picking up the Riley Sager newest book, but that one has like a 12-week wait period, so I did put myself on hold for future stuff to read, but I don't think I'll get to it this month. So I'll be reading this book, which is a thriller, and even though it's not like a horror per se, but obviously I feel like psychological thriller has some sort of like scary elements to it, so I'm just gonna say it for that. Moving on to prompt number 2. Okay, so it's a new to you author, which is great. I have a ton of books that would definitely fulfill this. So many great debut books are coming out, so many books by authors I haven't read yet, so let me go through my shelves and I'll be right back. I have the best book for the new to you author right now, and that is Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb. This is a book that I've heard so much about. I have the Goldsboro edition, and look how stunning this is. This is a dragon, by the way, like upside down dragon, and it looks so beautiful. It says, the last male dragon, a desperate thief, a bond that will save the world or shatter it. I've heard amazing things so far, so I'm really excited for this book. Now we're on to prompt number 3. Oh, I love this one. This is beautiful cover, and I mean, I have so many books that are stunning. I think I might try to pick up one of my special edition books, like from Fairy Loot or Illumicrate, but let me decide which one I'm in the mood for, and I'll be right back. In terms of beautiful cover, I have the stunningest cover like that I've gotten recently, and that is Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. Look at this stunner in the side. Like, look how beautiful these edges are, and the insides too are stunning. Like, look, this is a beautiful cover. You can't deny it. All I know is that this is a half vampire, half fox spirit, and it follows this woman. Her name is Lady Jing, who is pawned by her mother to the king of hell as a child. and she spent the last 90 years running errands, dodging the taunts, trying to control her explosive temper. And then she one day overhears the courtiers plotting to steal a priceless dragon pearl from the king, and she seizes her chance to expose them once and for all. It sounds amazing. I'm really intrigued by the whole half vampire, half fox spirit element to it, like super fascinating here. Now we're on to prompt number 4. Okay. All right, I definitely need to get tackling with this one. So this is book of the month pick, and I have so many. Now I just figure out which one I want to read. For this book of the month pick, because I feel like I have a lot of like fantasy heavy books for the next month, I'm gonna pick up The Last Flight by Julie Clark. This is a thriller where it follows 2 women, 2 flights, and 1 chance to disappear. It says, you might know a husband like Claire's who has, you know, ambition, deep pockets, but behind closed doors, he has a temper. And then it follows another woman. Her name is Eva. And these 2 women basically take a chance upon meeting at the airport, who also seems equally desperate to escape her life. And things kind of happen from there. So I'm super intrigued by this. I want to just know, like, do they look similar? Like, is that why they decided to swap places? Or how did that happen? And last but not least, our final prompt over here. Okay, I'm like ambivalent about this one. It's retelling. Why I love my retellings, I don't know. I feel like I've been reading a lot of fantasy these days and I might be a little burnt out, so I don't know, we'll see. Let me look for my shelves for retelling and I'll be right back. I know I wasn't excited for this retelling prompt, but then I realized I have this book to read right now, and I'm actually super excited now because this is book 2 to the Legendborn series. This is Bloodmark, and this is an Arthurian retelling, and I am so excited for this book. I know I've talked about this forever, and I read the first book obviously like a year ago and I loved it, so I definitely want to tackle the series, the sequel, and just hopefully fall in love with it as well. And I can't wait to continue on with the series. So anyways, that is it in terms of my regular prompts. Now I have to go into my magical readathon prompts. So I actually have a lot because, as always, I'm doing Beastmaster. So I have my regular prompts over here. In addition, I also want to tackle one of their supplements. And on top of that, I wanted to tackle the Imbling Summoning, which took me such a long time to find the books. But let's just get right into all the books I'm hoping to read for the magical readathon. So the first curriculum I had to do is to get an O in elemental studies, and that is to read a book with the word earth in the title. So I'm going to go with Reign the Earth by A.C. Gaughan. I'm hoping I pronounced that last name correctly. This is a book that I've had for such a long time now, and I feel like I've heard good things when it came back like ages ago. All I know right now is that this is about a woman who is a daughter of the desert, and she has magic in her blood. It follows a girl, her name is Shalia, whose people are desperate to end the devastating war that has been raging for years with the adjoining kingdom. Willing to trade her freedom for the safety of her family, she agrees to an arranged marriage with the king of the Bonelands, even though it means leaving behind everything she's ever known. In her strange new world, magic is outlawed. Elemente, those who can control earth, air, fire, and water, are traitors, subject to torture, or worse. So I'm assuming she has some elemental magic, so I'm really intrigued by that. Then the next prompt over here is to get a D in animal studies, which means I technically have like 3 prompts I have to go through. The first one is pet pick. So I don't really want to go into it too much, but the cats are no longer with me right now. I don't know if I mentioned in a previous vlog, but they're at my ex's place, and I do have to go there at some point to pick up my stuff. So when I go there, I might see if I can do a clip of one of them picking up these books. If not, I will just get my friend's dog to do it for me. But these are the 3 books I'll be asking an animal to do. The first one is To Sleep in the Sea of Stars. I'm a little worried about this one, so hopefully they don't pick this one, but I've been trying to read this book for ages now. Another option is Watching You by Lisa Jewell. This is great because it's a thriller and I feel it'll be a fast read. And then the other option is The Bookworm Crush by Lisa Brown Roberts. Another great option because, again, it'll be a short read. So these are my like ideal picks, but I also do really want to read this book as well. So these are the 3 books I'll be having one of the animals pick. hopefully, and we'll see how that goes. The next prompt is a debut book, so I'm gonna go with Shanghai Immortal by A.Y. Chow. Thankfully this is a book in my regular TBR, so I can kind of double up with the magical readathon TBR. Super excited for that. Then the next prompt over here is to read a book within 2 days. I'm gonna go with my next volume for fairy tales, so this is still the manga that I'll be tackling this year. I don't remember which volume I'm on right now. I want to say I'm like 13 or 14, or like I'm in the 20s, like something like that. So I'll have an image over here as always, but that is the book I'll be picking for this prompt. My next curriculum is to get an O in alchemy, and that is to read a book that's first in the series. So I'm going to tackle The Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This is a series I plan to do a whole reading vlog on, because I did a whole video a while ago, I want to say sometime last year, where I want to talk about the series that I haven't started yet but want to start and also finish. So this is one of the series I mentioned, so I'm hoping to read this entire series in a separate vlog during the time in August, and hopefully I'll get that up sometime soon. But all I know is that this is a book about how people have different blood, like color of blood, and then how that distinguishes between people with magic and people without magic. So I think like red blood is like normal, and then silver blood is people with power, and usually those people are like royals or part of the court or things like that. And this one girl, she has red blood, but somehow she has powers or something like that. So I'm really curious about this one. I've heard amazing things about the series overall when it came out a couple years ago, so definitely can't wait to tackle this one in general. Then my next curriculum slash course is to get a Q in alchemy, and this one they're both kind of like things to do prompts, so I don't really have a book picked out right now per se, because the first one is to start a book before bed. So literally any of these books will fit for that prompt. Might even be one of my other TBRs, I don't really know yet. It might even be fairy tale, so I don't really have a prompt for this one. Then the next one is to read a book in a different spot every time we pick it up. So again, these are prompts where it's like any book can really do that, so we'll just see whatever fits when that time comes. So thankfully I only have like 4 courses or tests to take. Moving on to my dragon writing supplement. Obviously as a Beastmaster, I feel like this was like the obvious choice for me, and this prompt is to read 2 dragon books. So obviously I'll be picking up Dragonfall by L.R. Lamb, perfect for this. In addition, I'll be reading Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Obviously both dragon heavy. I've heard amazing things about especially this book, but also this book as well, so this is a book that I'm going to tackle ASAP and hopefully fall in love with. Then the other prompt for the dragon supplement is to watch a movie or a TV show with dragons in it. I don't know what I'm going to pick up yet, because I feel like the only one that I was like for sure is Raya, but I just watched Raya recently and I don't want to watch it again, so I'm gonna have to find something that has dragons in it. Worst case scenario, I can always rewatch How to Train Your Dragon, because that is such a good movie and I adore the series. So TBD on this end for now. Then the last component for the magical readathon is the Impling Summoning Challenge, and this one by far was so hard to do. It took me such a long time to find the books that fulfill all of it and like links up properly. It's a little bit hard to describe how the linking up works, but G does a good job in describing. And of course, I will always include the information for the readathon down below. But I'll be reading 2 books to tackle this challenge. The first one is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This book will tackle the one where I start a book at night. It will also tackle the prompt that is read from a before author, because I did read her other book. It also tackles the page count 400 to 450. I went with the Goodreads number because there's also an arc, so this is not really accurate. So on Goodreads it does say that there's 400 pages, so I'm going to go off of that number. And then it also fills the prompt where a letter appears twice, and that is circus, where the C appears twice on here. So that is the first book I'll be tackling. The second book that I'll be tackling will be Shanghai Immortal, and this one also has a letter where it appears twice, which is M. It was released this year or last year, and this is definitely a new release. It also has blue on the cover, so much blue here. And then lastly, I can also start this book at nighttime as well. So basically I'll be reading these 2 books to fulfill all the prompts and have them link up accordingly. I'm tired, like this was just such a long hassle to get through in terms of like which books to read, but I managed to find 2 that fits. So anyways, these are the books I'll be reading for this readathon, as well as my August TBR. It is a hefty pile, but I am confident that I'll get to most of them, if not all of them. And as always, I do plan to do a month-long reading vlog for the Magical Readathon. I feel like I've been doing that for a couple years now. I'll link my previous ones down below and above in case you want to check those out. But anyway, like to say for this video, let me know down below if you'll be joining me for the Magical Readathon, and if you are, which books are you planning to read? And as always, if you like this video, please do give me a thumbs up. It would just help my channel. And if you see more content of me, please don't hesitate to subscribe down below, as well as notification bell. And as always, don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.